Gentlemen, I just think we hit a real-life cheat code because other than getting a little gabagool from the homeless guy named Hedwig out in an alley, I didn't think there was much fun that you could get for 20 bucks, but the best Korea has proved me wrong. So we have two different Korean Yu-Gi-Oh boxes here. There was supposed to be a third one, but Amazon somehow got that mixed up, said it was supposed to be delivered today, and it was included in the same package as some other stuff in that. But magically, it's in a different state, so we'll be getting that one later. So I've got 2 out of the 3 that arrived. Today we're just going to be opening up the Legend of Blue Eyes here. But yeah, this was something I kind of stumbled across and was kind of, a little hesitant about it, but the more I looked into it, it seemed legit. So yeah, today we're going to be opening up a Korean Yu-Gi-Oh Legend of Blue Eyes booster box. And here's the wild thing, this was $23. This Invasion of Chaos one here, I believe this one was a little bit more pricey at around $25. I believe inside each box there's going to be 40 booster packs with 5 cards, but yeah, everything looks legit here. I thought, hey, if we're out 20 bucks on this, we're out 20 bucks. But from all the research I found, these are legit. Apparently, I guess in most Asian countries, they typically follow the Japanese prints, just because over there, the OCG is a lot bigger. And from what I was reading, to enter tournaments, you kind of had to buy the Japanese stuff. So because of that, there's not a huge, I don't want to say there's not a huge market for Korean stuff, but it's definitely a lot cheaper because most people tend to gravitate towards the OCG stuff or the Japanese. So yeah, I figured we'd open up a couple of these because I think I've been loving opening up a lot of the retro packs, or yeah, just a lot of the old school packs, the retro packs included, but definitely by doing a lot of those legendary collections, we've been able to open up some of the earlier sets. They still have booster boxes of those ones printed. However, they are starting to get up in price, and these are fairly cheap. So as you can see here, we've got, I'm going to guess 40 packs. I'm going to assume that. Should be 5 cards per pack, and to my understanding, this follows the traditional setup of most Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes from around that area, where you should get 4 super rares, 2 ultra rares, and then there's a potential of a secret. Now, in the newer reprinted 25th anniversary sets, you are guaranteed a secret. However, these were technically part of the original printing, so we're not going to be guaranteed that. Also, because these are in a different language, I'm not really going to know what most of them are. So we'll just kind of go through it. But yeah, I think we hit that cheat code for fun here. So I do know this. This is Larvis, Dragon Treasure, King Fog or Fog King, Legendary Sword, and Firegrass. Okay, so it doesn't even look like you're guaranteed a rare here. Or maybe they just don't do rares, but yeah, so I also got Invasion of Chaos and then Labyrinth of Nightmare, so those are going to be some of our other openings, as well as I did pick up another English booster box. That one is, let's see, Maze of Memories. So we got another Firegrass, Yami, Silver Bow, I believe, Hard Armor, okay, and 2-pronged attack. So we did get a rare, but yeah, these cards are ridiculously cheap, and from everything that I was able to find online, there were a lot of very valid reasons for it. So if you're someone like me where you're just kind of interested in getting some of the older cards that, I grew up with, or maybe you grew up with as well, this is kind of a cheap way to get them, as long as you're okay with them being in a language that, unless you read it, you're not going to be able to understand. But Witty Phantom, another Silver Bow here. I can't remember what that one is. Dark Treasure and Monster Egg. And I could be wrong on some of these, but surprisingly from a lot of this set, I didn't think I'd be able to Other than like maybe some of the bigger hits, I didn't think I'd be able to recognize any of them, but so far we're doing so good. I do remember that starts with, I believe, a K, but I don't know what it is. Germ infection, something, remove trap, and Mammoth Graveyard. So classic Yugi card there. But yeah, I know, so currently, if you are looking to buy a Legend Blue Eyes booster box, the best way to go about it, at least in English, is going to be to pick up one of the 25th anniversary sets. Right now, they are hovering a little around 100 or plus, depending on how hard you want to look. That's going to kind of depend on the price that you're going to get. Another rare there, Fisher. But if you are, you know, hey, maybe you're like me, you want to be a baller on a budget, these Korean packs may not be a bad way to go about it. Just a couple things, though, to throw out that I kind of learned about this, and maybe it'll help set some of you at ease. So as you can kind of see, so I haven't opened this one yet. This is fresh out of the box. It did not come wrapped. Apparently, a lot of the cards that were printed in Korea, they didn't really expect them to leave the country. So a lot of them never received any sort of wrapping. Dragon capture jar there. So that's why I believe, though, that is only exclusive to a lot of the older sets. If you do buy something new, those ones should come wrapped. But if you are planning on purchasing something that's a little bit older and it shows up, there's no wrap around it. To my knowledge, that's completely normal. Also, a lot of the cards in here, if you are trying to collect for like money purposes or stuff like that, I definitely would not recommend the Korean stuff just because it really doesn't hold a whole lot of value. Again, a lot of the countries over there, you know, Korea, China, Singapore, all of that, they do follow the OCG stuff, which I'm kind of not sure why, you know, they won't let other countries use cards in their language, but it is what it is. It means that we can pick them up cheaper over here. I was looking to see if I can maybe find any Chinese booster boxes or anything like that, but unfortunately all I found was Korean, which, when I say unfortunately, I don't mean that in a bad way, because it's still pretty cool here. So far we've hit 4 rares, so it doesn't look like they're guaranteed in every pack. But we're at least hitting some of the more notable rares. We did get Dragon Capture Jar there. Skull Servant, okay. Another Legendary Sword. Spike Hydra, I believe. Frenzied Panda. And Aqua Medor. This was actually a pretty decent card back at the time, just because you didn't really have a whole lot of effect monsters, and having 2,000 defense was huge. So, one of the other things, though, that I did read, now I'm not sure how much credibility there is to this because I only saw it once, so we'll kind of test that out here, but they did say that in terms of some of the ultra rares for especially, or specifically LOB, you're guaranteed at least 1 Exodia piece, and then it'll be one of the other ultra rares. So that was, in theory, one of the cards we should be seeing today is some sort of Exodia piece. There's Sparks, another Skull Servant. And just to give everyone an update, so I know last weekend I started a playthrough of Legacy of the Duelist with a Gravekeeper themed deck. So I know I had imposed some kind of self-imposed rules on that, where if I got 3 losses, that would be the end of it. Unfortunately, luck was not on our side for the next couple of duels, and we did end up hitting R3. There's Trial of Hell, or in English, Trial of Nightmare. We did hit R3 rather quick. Unfortunately, we just, I don't want to say we bricked, but yeah, the AI did not, and it pulled literally every out to everything that we needed. I was expecting to hit another loss at the Rare Hunter, just because, you know, that game doesn't follow a lot of the rules. Oh, Tatsumi Giant, where, you know, you can run like 3 Pot of Greeds if you want, and unfortunately it did lead to the AI drawing Exodia on us. Fusion Cat. And then one that I thought was going to be completely easy up until I forgot to read some of the cards he was playing. Arcana actually just barely managed to beat us out. So we did take a couple losses there. If you guys are interested in it, I can upload it. It's a very short video, but you know, we did take that 3, so as far as I'm concerned, that run is done. Sogan. Okay. But yeah, so still have yet to see one of the hollows here. I know in English booster boxes there was a way to kind of map where the hollows would be. I think it was like if you opened a hollow and then you counted 5 packs down, the next pack, so the 6th pack would have been your hollow. But I'm going to guess that that's not going to be true for this. Silver Fang. Okay, so we are seeing at least a lot of classic cards here. And one of the things that I did here, now I'm not super familiar with the Legend of Blue Eyes set, other than some of those packs that I've opened. I haven't gone back to check like any of the cards that are in this set. But to my understanding, there are, in theory, some additional cards that were added to this just to kind of help keep the Korean game as current as possible. Remove Trap, Machine Factory, something, and then, yeah, something Warrior there. But let's see, though, if we can get a secret. I know the secrets for here are Gaia the Dragon Champion and then Tri-Horn Dragon. Skull Redbird, another nice, very early beater. And then Mammoth Graveyard. I guess the nice thing is realistically, if we're only going to get 6 to 7 hollows, there are 40 packs here, so still a good chance that, you know, we just haven't come across them yet. It would be pretty cool, though, to get the Blue Eyes, especially with the original artwork. Hinotama, Mystical Moon. And then I believe that's Gravedigger's Ghoul. For some reason, I always thought that was in Metal Raiders, and maybe it is, and I'm just... Or maybe it is in LOB and I'm just misremembering it. Okay, let's see if we can finally land one of our hollows here. Tripwire Beast. Media Bat. Another Fusionist. I think I called it Fusionist Cat, but I think it's just Fusionist. Again, I wasn't really expecting to remember most of these here. Okay. Can't remember what that is. Tripwire Beast. Something Root, I believe. Violet Crystal. And Basic Insect. Maybe all the hollows are just at the back of the box, and if that's the case, that would be kind of funny, because I'd be interested to see if it's like that as well for Invasion of Chaos. Then I just kind of feel bad for people, because, you know, if you were the first kid in and you saw them crack the box, you could just go back and grab whatever you needed out of there, and know you got all the good cards. Another Silver Bow, Hard Armor, and Dark Fire Dragon. If I recall, I think that should be pretty much all the rare fusions that were introduced, other than the secret rare Gaia the Dragon Champion. Maybe there's one more in here. Okay. Wasteland, Vile Germ, Larvis, and... Okay, so there was another one there. Actually, now that I think about it, should be another fusion in here that's only a rare. Something, I want to say Dragon Slayer, but I don't think that's it. But I want to say it's a fusion at least with, maybe is it Petite Dragon? And I want to say some sort of warrior monster. I can see the artwork in my head. Trial of Nightmare. Laser arm cannon, witty phantom, pot of greed. Okay. That's right, this really was only a rare. So that's pretty cool to see that. Unfortunately, it's still banned, which it's kind of crazy. But I guess, you know, the ability to draw 2 cards, especially with how Yu-Gi-Oh is played right now, that would be a little busted, so I understand why all the more modern pot cards have some pretty big drawbacks to them. Another Frenzied Panda, Vile Germs. I want to say that's Dissolver Rock, Beast Fangs, and Skull Servant. But yeah, so we have essentially the next month's worth of product that we're going to be opening up. And I think depending on how some of these Korean boxes go, I might pick up as many of them as I can find. Just that way we can open up, you know, maybe some stuff that right now only sells for thousands of dollars. Hain. Not a bad card. Especially because I think it was one of the very few effect monsters at this time. And if I recall its effect, I think it allowed you to bounce something back to the hand. So could be pretty annoying. Especially in very early Yu-Gi-Oh there. We got Silver Fang. Spellbook something Lesser Dragon. I want to say that's Drooling Lizard and Arm Ninja. Okay. I do not remember for sure what that one does. Let's see if we can at least get one holo here. Something Clown. Two-Mouth Dark Ruler. Legendary Sword and Hitatsumi Giant. Man, let's just see if we can get a holo. Like I said, I did see multiple sources say that these boxes should come unsealed just because of the time that they were printed in, but I'm hoping that means that nobody took advantage of it. There was some tape on there. Okay, another rare there. But I don't know if the tape would have been added afterwards or not, because this one doesn't have any tape, so it does kind of make me question a few things, but I guess we'll see. Could just be something maybe the seller added to keep it safe, or maybe that's just their way of trying to say like, oh yes, don't worry, we definitely didn't alter anything in there. Okay. So we got another basic insect, Beast Fangs. Okay. I think that's Final Flame, if I recall correctly. I mean, we're at least getting the rares. And I mean, at least from this seller, everything had a pretty positive review. Hinotama Soul, Sogen, 13th Grave. So I want to try and be hopeful here and just assume that everything's going to be right at the end. But yeah, if it does look like this pack here, or if this box ends up being a scam, we'll definitely let you know then who the seller was. Just that way, hopefully you guys can avoid it. Okay, so I think now we should have all the regular rare fusions. Just going to be a little surprised if everything is all right at the end here. Okay. Petite Angel, Mountain, and that thing. Let's see, how many packs do we have left? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we should, in theory, start seeing some holos here pretty soon. So like I said, I believe it still follows the same pattern where there should be 6 in here. Follow Wind, that thing. Remove trap, and... all right, so there we go. Okay, yeah, maybe just all of our luck was at the end. Perfect. All right, Exodia the Forbidden One. Very cool. Okay, if I was going to get one Exodia piece, I'm not going to lie, this would be the one that I want, just because it's always kind of awkward to have, like, just one of the random limbs there. So to get the head is very nice. So I don't know if that adds any credence to you're guaranteed an Exodia piece. I think we'd have to open several boxes of this to find out, but at least we got one. Okay, I think that's like Man-Eater Plant, King Fog, Wasteland, and Trial of Nightmare. All right, now, really I'd be open to anything, but I do think, again, it would be pretty cool to get the Blue Eyes itself in its own box. Electro Whip, Kurama. I want to say that's Umi, and then, okay. So I think now that should put us down to 5 packs. Yes, maybe? Yeah, 5, okay. So in theory, all of these should hold a holo. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a secret rare unless they swap it out with one of the other rarities, which I really hope that they would not do that. All right. I believe that's something. Autumn, Spike Cedra, Trial of Nightmare, Hinotama, and do we get a holo? We do. We get Monster Reborn. Okay. Not going to lie, that was not the holo I was hoping for, or yeah, for the second ultra rare, but it is still cool nonetheless, though, to have another one. I do believe we opened that up in one of our other boxes. Let's see this now. So this one then should be a super rare since we've hit our 2 ultras. Tiger Turtle, the Witty Phantom, 2-Mouth Dark Ruler, and Swords of Revealing Light. I feel like I've opened so many of them. That and Gate Guardian, which is why I got the Maze of Memories booster box, because I figured since we've only opened, I think at this point, 3 of them, it's time we get him some additional support. All right. Something, Fiend Reflective Mirror, something that starts with a K, and Curse of Dragon, very nice. Let's see here. I think Celtic Guardian would be, just trying to think of all the supers. Actually, Raigeki would be pretty cool to get as well, but Celtic Guardian would be another one I'd be happy with. Hinotama Soul, and Mystical Elf. Very Yugi themed opening here. Let's see. Celtic Guardian. I'm trying to think, man, of all the other super rares that are in here, but I just cannot think of what they are off the top of my head other than that. Firegrass. Petite Angel, and hopefully this next one will be either be Raigeki or Celtic Guardian, but we get Man-Eater Bug. Okay. Not a bad one. Actually, a pretty decent flip effect for the time. So we did end up getting it. So thankfully we were not scammed. I'm not going to lie. I was getting a little worried there. It felt like we burnt through like, what, 32 before we got our first pack. But, or yeah, our first pack, but our first big hit. And that was, of course, Exodia, the Forbidden One there. And it does just look so cool. But, and then here's what the backs look like. Pretty similar, other than, of course, everything down there is written in Korean. But yeah, so thank you guys. Now that we know these are definitely not a scam, I am extremely excited to open up the next couple of sets here. But thank you all for watching, and we will catch you next time.